Oh yeah.
Making your way past the McDonald's, you guys kind of through the rain slick streets. Um, you guys start walking. In the parking lot of the McDonald's, you see two cops standing in front of a car. Um, and you see they're sort of writing a ticket and placing it on top of another ticket that is currently entirely rain-soaked.
Huh.
And they kind of just give you little nods as you guys make your way past.
Very epic.
You can see a small little park off a bit to the lower left, sort of behind this little small dinky shop by the town square that says Blinsky Toys. Basically behind it, you see there is sort of a teenage guy, kind of near your guys' age, sitting with a young girl who's also like a little bit below your ages, under a big umbrella on a bench, sort of out by the trees, sort of by a little swing set. And then across the street, you guys see there is a hot dog stand where a man is dressed like a big hot dog. Sort of this smaller, thicker looking guy with this big bushy beard coming out of where the hot dog costume kind of ends. And he's kind of got this little deadpan expression, kind of looking out through the rain, under the trying to keep as much under the umbrella of the hot dog stand as he can.
Hot dogs, get your hot dogs.
I made coffee.
I made coffee. Does anyone want coffee? Is this a hearse? What is this van?
This over here?
Yeah, it's got a weird back to it.
Kind of looking it over. It seems to be just a white van kind of parked on the street. It looks sort of like a truck that's got sort of like a bed cover.
Okay.
Alright.
And you can see a little window in the back. But there's no one in it. It seems to be parked here, kind of like by the middle of the street by the McDonald's. Or by the McKinley's, you don't know.
No,
You'll
I'm looking
never
at the police
know.
giving this dude who's parked in a parking spot a ticket and not a truck taking up one side of the road. It's like, alright. I'm gonna look both ways before crossing the street like a good boy.
I just walk.
Also, did you make these road tokens? Because I could not find these.
I did.
There are no good road tokens. They're so
I can
annoying.
send them to you.
Please.
Can I also have them?
No!
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
They're mine!
That's why I don't use industrial paving in my campaign.
Because it doesn't exist unless it's got a whole street attached to it. I turn around as I'm walking and kind of give a thumb to Blinsky's Toys as we pass it. I'm like, I feel like something in my mind keeps mentioning this every time we kind of go by here. We should probably check it out.
I don't know, it's just a toy shop, right?
Yeah, but I don't know. Some weird voice.
Oh yeah, kind
keeps-
of looking over. You
keeps
see like a
naming
little,
it.
like a makeshift playground. Sort of in the back, you see there's a slide that kind of over here. There's a couple little like sort of spring-bottomed little plastic animals with handles on them. And as you guys can make your way through, you see that it's kind of covered in all these Christmas lights. A couple kind of flickering. Some of them are just completely out. Sort of all along the individual strands. And you see a big sign that says Blinsky Toys, with sort of a jack-in-the-box sort of on it. And you see at the bottom, sort of written is no fun, is no Blinsky.
Oh, it's definitely Russian then.
I don't trust the
Didn't
Russians.
kill them in the first shot, then you weren't using a Jacobs.
I mean, didn't we find one of their toys in the hospital?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you think so?
Did we ever keep that?
Nope.
Don't think so.
I didn't write it down.
I certainly didn't.
Dante doesn't play with toys.
I don't play. The only toys I need are guns.
Jesus.
Gun
Said like a
toys.
true American.
Yeah, I only play with guns.
I'm gonna go visit
Like
the
a
town square then.
responsible child.
These people in fucking stocks. What's going on over here? I'm gonna...
Yeah, as you kind of peek around the corner to look, the first thing you see is there is a big, there's probably about like a 2-foot tall little like pedestal with sort of these like stone carved stairs. Sort of making their way up to this little pedestal. There's about a 10-foot tall wooden cross being set up. And you can see two individuals, one human woman with sort of darker skin and a dwarven man, sort of moving about this cross, sort of throwing about hay and straw everywhere and kind of like tying it to this cross. That's sort of decorating all these little party streamers and banners.
God damn it.
And then looking down from there into the bottom, you see that there are wooden stocks, like there would be sort of like a Renaissance fair or something, sort of lined up at sort of the lower end of this town square. And you can see there are 3 people in there who have those horrifying horse mask things shoved over their heads, and you see tied to the neck bits of those masks are strings with rocks on the end to like weigh them down.
Oh.
What the fuck?
You can see three individuals are currently in there. You see that all the horse masks are currently splattered with sort of like bits of like vegetables. And you see lots of rocks sort of piling around on the ground near where the people with the masks are sort of in these stocks. You can see police officers sort of patrolling around, kind of keeping an eye, and you see there's a small boy standing in front of one of the stocks with like a couple little pebbles, throwing them at a girl who is seemingly has one of these horse heads shoved on top of her head and is stuck in one of these stocks. You also see there's sort of like a little stage that has all these like big banners and party ribbons with this big bear rug and a big podium that has sort of like American like flag imagery kind of hanging around from it.
Okay.
And you see off to the right of it there is a wooden gallows, where there's a man sort of with this dark executioner's hood, like these big black, like almost ski mask, like a pointed top, with this really, really old, rusty, like antique battle axe slung over his shoulder. And he's kind of sitting on the steps of these gallows that's also decked out in like Christmas lights and party ribbons and banners. Sort of just looking around, kind of eyeing up the rest of the town square as he just sits there, just in the rain.
Can I just hug the lamppost as I'm looking over this in utter terror? Kind of looking back at my boys.
Yeah.
So, for one, they're gonna burn a cross, which I'm pretty sure is racist.
I think that's religionist, but okay.
Being an
I-
American,
I know, I read
I'm
something about it.
familiar with the burning of crosses, and it's usually never a good thing.
They're stoning
Also-
people.
Random question, GM. Thinking about it, did my character need to register scalpels?
Nah.
Those aren't weapons, right?
They're
Cool.
tools.
Exactly. So, actually, also he would not have registered the frisbee. The frisbee.
Ah, yes, the thing to frisbee.
I doubt they would have expected it.
I think actually everyone except Dante currently has other weapons. Unless, Gale, you wanted to leave behind your sword.
He'll have his sword, but he's just curious because about the whole register thing.
This sounds kind of fucked up.
Something's not right.
Yep, I'm gonna strut over.
Definitely. Yep. I'll follow.
What the shit? All executioners look like gimps, let's get real. Did this kid just beam this fucking horse in the face?
As you kind of walk over, you see that this kid kind of like takes a couple steps back and hurls this rock, and you hear a smack
Oh,
as it lands right in the cheek of whoever's in this horse mask. You hear like a voice kind of cry out, and kind of like through the mask, you see a little bit of blood kind of drip out from the inside, kind of like hitting the stone with the rain as his head kind of like flies back. You hear a girl's voice kind of cry out. The kid kind of chuckles. He takes a couple more steps back. And you see that this police officer kind of looks a little disconcerting at that, but doesn't seem to do anything as he kind of keeps surveying, like looking around, and sees you for kind of approach. Kind of keeps like an eye on you
How about
as he kind
this
of
one?
moves about through the place. And you also see there's another one of those watchtowers that has the soldiers up top with the guns. Sort of looking out, and they see where you guys are standing out in the town square as you kind of move about. And you see the kid kind of looks over at you guys, kind of like a very amused smile on his face, and then turns back to the the horse mask people, and he goes to throw another rock at this one here.
Can I throw a rock at his rock?
What kind of Naruto shit is that?
This is. I mean, why not, right?
If you'd like to throw a rock, you may, but he misses anyways. He just kind of like hurls the rock, and it kind of doesn't really get the altitude he needs, and it kind of just like hits like down towards the guy's legs.
Guess I also miss.
I'm gonna walk up. I'm gonna strut up to this kid. I want to grab the rocks off him.
He's picking them up off the ground, like he ain't got any in his hands. He scoops down to pick up another one.
If he goes down, I kick the rock out of the way. Then I lean down, I give a thumb back behind my shoulder.
Very, like, he looks up with like a very, very pissed off expression. You kick the rock, and he kind of sticks his tongue out at you.
And I thumb over my shoulder, I'm like, beat it, kid. It's our turn.
Make an intimidation check.
Can I stand there menacingly to give him an advantage?
Yeah.
Do you have the intimidation skill?
I'm pretty sure I do.
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
I certainly do. I have a +6 to it.
Oh.
Absolutely make it with advantage. Roll again.
Oh, well, 13.
He kind of blows a raspberry at you, going like. Kind of puts his thumbs up to his cheeks, kind of shakes his hands back and forth like little moose antlers. Sort of taunting you. And then he kind of takes a couple steps away, kind of picks up another rock and goes to throw it.
Can I wave my skeleton hand at him?
Throat punch him.
In the dick.
What?
Sack tap him with a fucking mage hand?
He kind of looks around, sees the skeleton hand, kind of goes, kind of looking at it, kind of like seemingly forgetting the rock as he kind of just goes to inspect your little ghostly wizard hand.
Now grab his throat and fucking slam him in the ground. Fuck you.
They flip him off with it.
He kind of looks taken aback a bit. And he just kind of sticks his tongue out again, going like, ugh.
Stick my tongue out at him.
He holds up his middle finger like sarcastically. Then he kind of waves his hand around and goes to pick up another rock. And he kind of takes a couple steps back away from you guys.
I'm gonna try and get in the way. I'm gonna try and hustle this scene. This is our scene now. Alright, boys, pick up some rocks. I kind of wink at them. And I'm gonna throw one very clearly trying to miss.
Yeah, I'm not gonna make you roll to miss, like...
Accidentally fucking break their nose.
But go and make me a deception check to see how convincing of a throw it is.
Oh, good, yeah.
Oh, no.
Should have baffed the little fuck when you had the chance.
Well, there's police.
Well, yeah, I don't want to punch a kid in front of the police.
Baffing is different. Punching, remember, cheeky.
You throw this rock, and it goes right towards this horse mask. And Dante, you're worried for a second Julian might actually hit. But you see it just barely hits the wooden stock next to her head as it just kind of goes rattling back onto the stone floor. And this kid kind of goes to move away from you guys over to the guy at the end, kind of moving right in front of Gale as he kind of goes to go past him over to the one at the end.
Gale, trip him, make it look like an accident.
I was gonna say, is that a stealth, then a dexterity, or what?
Just make a dexterity check. Contested dexterity. Got to be a 13.
Oh.
Perfect.
Gotta love it.
He sees it as he's walking up to it and like goes to step over it, but you just raise your foot a little bit and he eats shit onto the ground. You take a D6 of damage.
Oh shit!
You see, he goes hard into the ground. You see, kind of comes up with a little bit of a scraped cheek.
just gonna
And he
continue
like
walking.
just glares daggers at you. And then he goes to just run off.
He's gonna tell his mom.
Julian looks
He's gonna get
really
his older
upset.
brother.
I didn't want to become a bully.
Can't really
Done
be a
it,
bully
Julian.
now.
You did it.
I start throwing rocks again, crying.
Make a deception check for me.
A perception or deception?
Deception. Ooh.
It's the tears.
I'm really enjoying this.
You kind of start throwing rocks like not even close, and you're kind of crying a little bit. And you see that this female police officer kind of gives you a weird look. More confused than anything else, but she doesn't do anything. As you're just kind of sitting there throwing rocks, very much not getting anywhere close to the three of them.
Like I'm genuinely curious about. Do I think I could break the lock if I smite a rock?
If you smite with a rock?
You think
Yeah,
it'd be very,
you
very
are-
obvious that there's some sort of magic going on. The rock would sort of glow a bit, and it'd be a big,
Oh yeah,
and
no,
it'd be very
obviously.
obvious that you were the one that broke the lock open.
Okay.
It'd be the same thing as just going and picking the lock.
Uh,
One second, I'll be right back.
I know. I was just curious for the lulz.
Doing it for the meme.
Doing your mom for the meme.
Honestly, if they get in a fight, I want to be Gale uppercutting someone with a smite.
Why are we getting in a fight?
I
The,
think
the
that-
dude was like 10, dude.
Oh no, I'm not saying them. I'm saying the police officers.
He
don't
half
find the
healthed a
fucking-
child by tripping him.
Oh yeah, of course. Gale wasn't that mean. The trip was as far as he'd go.
That me.
So how's everyone doing? You're doing alright?
Doing just fine. I like how Dante's color is now red from green. It was green, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was green.
Gale was just the constant blue for some reason.
Alright, so what do you guys want to do?
I'm on my back.
Yeah.
I mean, he literally has a bathroom in his room.
Yo, what? I want that.
That's cheating.
I also, I don't have enough room to scoot back from my desk without hitting my bed.
It's a very small room.
It's not meant to be a bedroom, it just has a bathroom in it.
I'm not sure what it was meant to be. It
I
was
don't
meant to
either.
be something.
It's bound to be something
Certainly
eventually.
Also, everyone has to go through my room to get to the basement.
Oh, that
Yeah.
sounds like a lounge room with a fucking toilet in it.
So anytime we want to go do our laundry, we have to go through him.
Oh no, he's the guardian of the laundry.
If he says no, you're fucked.
Yeah. Them's the
If I just lock my
stakes.
door, no one can get to the basement without going outside and around the house.
And then you'll probably just be waiting there with the baseball bat ready. Like, fuck you doing?
But yeah, what would you guys like to do?
I want to cast, or attempt to cast message on the person in the horse mask.
You do know your buddy Daunt.
Yeah, but I know Dante also doesn't give a shit.
That's fair. That's fair.
That's fair and smart.
I mean, wouldn't
that's
he
gonna,
give a
that's
shit
gonna
if
be
it
a
was for
DC 10 Arcana check.
Oh,
Oh.
I could have resurrected someone with that. Fuck you guys.
Wow.
I put my hand to my arm and regenerate it. Fuck you, I'm back. Fuck this.
Which one would you like to whisper to?
The one I'm throwing the rocks at. The one that got beamed in the
Alright.
face.
What would you like to say?
Like, you can reply to this, don't worry, it's magic. Just mentally think it. I'm here. What's up? You alright?
The horse head kind of looks around in some confusion. You can't really see the face underneath.
Just act natural. I'm a frickin' wizard.
Very good.
She says, what's going on?
I told that kid those stone rocks at you to get out of here. Why are you guys getting stoned? Don't worry, they can't hear us.
They can't hear us?
I'm pretty sure, hang on, I try and think hard. Has anyone, like, tapped in? We've got a third line in here.
Dante, do you tap in?
I tap in. Hey, what's up?
Oh, it's
Julian,
Dante.
you're not sure. Oh, never mind. You know that Dante is.
That's my buddy. He's also a freaking wizard. But it's cool.
I can't see very well out of this, but the mayor puts me with the guts to say how stupid his little festivals are. These little stocks.
But this is what happens if we don't attend a festival?
She kind of nods her horse head.
Oh,
I throw another rock. But not at her. Well, shit.
The policewoman looks more at you like in concern than anything else, as you're just like soaring these rocks over and above. Because you're obviously not doing anything like suspicious, but
I just suck at throwing, man. It's my non-preferred arm. I lost my preferred arm, you monster. Thanks. Yeah, bring that up now. I cry. I told my mum.
she
It was
says,
your mum, wasn't it, though? It was your mum.
I was trying to spread word, you know? Get people fired up. Had a whole newspaper and everything. Got thrown up here. Third time.
Uh-huh.
well, that's rather American.
Freedom of the press. Apparently not. She kind of spits inside the horse mask. It kind of just slowly kind of dribbles out of the mouth.
I don't do that.
That's kind of gross.
Is Julian throwing rocks, like, at this?
Julian's just throwing rocks, like, very clearly missing on purpose.
Like, he looks very confused.
Like that's a nat one on the deception. They can tell you're not even
Yeah.
trying, as you're just like
I'm
hurling these
skipping him
rocks
across
just-
the ground at this point. No, so you
you
know
see
a lot about this
the
place,
woman
right?
just looks more concerned and confused. The man's kind of like eyeing you and kind of making sure you keep like a good distance in between you and the stocks.
Yeah.
Y'all want to just knock?
So, how long till you're free from this, I guess?
They usually let us out a little into the evening.
Alright, well, so you want a newspaper, right? You know a lot about this place. All its little secrets.
She says, "Sure do."
I look over at Dante as I, like, just sidearm another rock, just on
Like
the
off
floor.
to the side.
Yeah, just nowhere near anything.
As soon as I get out of here, make sure to stop by the Barovian Bugle.
Alright.
First issue's free. And then the rest, only a couple cents.
Couple of stunts,
Pretty
aka
reasonably ask me. Hottest news in the city.
70 G.
Look, I'll give you $1 if you make this place start making sense.
I got the inside scoop. What do you want to know?
Shit, I don't know yet. What should I know? The Markovs, the Markovs, are they nice?
They run the hotel, right?
Yeah.
Sure, they're nice.
Yeah, but how nice?
They're pretty nice. I haven't got much myself, but everyone in town seems to like them. They usually have a lot of wine.
Okay.
Everyone's big into it, but there's some kind of ban, some kind of stupid thing the mayor can't keep under control. They have an embargo on it or something.
Yeah, they're running low. What's that about the mayor, though? Is he, like, terrible? Is he summoning demons?
I mean, yeah, probably.
What? Look at
He's
Dante.
evil.
What the fuck?
No one can hear this conversation, but I give Dante a very concerned whole body gesture.
No, Dante can't hear it because he's reading your mind.
Well, no one else can, but I do a weird gesture at him for no reason at all.
I'm sure the cops very dislike that.
They're allowed to. What are they gonna do?
Arrest us?
For what?
I don't know, existing.
They don't have proof. Hang on.
Well, it seems like in this kind of place they don't need proof.
Yeah, that's true. Well, alright, shit. Can I toss a rock over my shoulder at this point? It's behind me. And I'm gonna shout at this person in the mask, just quit making everything a fuss, you nerd. And I cast Healing Word on them. How obvious is a Healing Word?
It's probably. It'd probably be a little obvious.
That's only verbal. I don't have to make some weird gang signs.
It is only verbal. Make a stealth check.
There it is. Hold on.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
You can't see any wounds healing. But you hear, because the message is not mental for her, it's verbal. You hear kind of like some muttering. Kind of like some sounds of relief. Coming from her in your little head.
No. Like, alright, we'll meet you at the whatever place. The bagel.
The bagel?
She says, "Oh well,
Oh.
are you staying at the hotel?" Yes, about the Markovs.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
I'll just come to you then.
Alright. Make sure the lady doesn't see you, though. She might be mad we talked. She said don't come to the center and cause issues. And I...
Yeah, she can't stop me.
She can
Don't worry
keep
about
us
it.
out.
I'll be there, bright and bushy-tailed.
Alright. I throw another rock at the ground. I'm like, alright, boys, let's beat feet. These nerds got what's coming to them.
They've got enough.
Yeah, they've had enough. Psh, whatever.
And you guys all walk out of
Okay.
the town square unless there's anything else you guys like to do.
I kind of
Yeah, well,
fill them in on what
curious
we
what just
mentally did.
Yeah, okay, I was just saying, yeah, I was slightly curious, but he'll wait till they're out of this area. Wait. Are these like actual horses? Is that an elephant?
What? Where?
No. They're little plastic animals.
Okay.
They have little handlebars.
Oh, yeah.
I thought so. They looked like they
They would be
did.
very squished if they were real horses.
Skittish.
Is this a church across here?
Yep.
Oh, it's a church. Nice.
There it is.
Maybe they've checked
All
out
very conveniently laid out.
the lady that we brought in. The dead one.
Okay, also, who is the police east officer that's such a big enough asshole to literally basically park into the bike?
Or the bike could be put there because
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
regardless.
Gale, as you walk by, you think that the police officer was parked in that spot, and this bike has been leaned up against the police car.
It's pretty mad. Oh, it's probably Vicky V's bike. It's obviously Vicky V's. That dog.
I can hear that picture of him.
Yes, we all can.
Alright, boys, I'm gonna run up and fucking knock on this big door.
Big old door.
So we haven't talked to Ernest yet, and I want to eventually, if for no other reason but to get a hot dog.
I can get a hot dog on the way back.
Cool.
Unless it's like $50 bajillion.
Well, if it's $50 bajillion, then we're definitely getting like an epic claymore.
No. If it's $50 bajillion, Gale is 100% stealing a hot dog.
You monster.
You wouldn't.
Not
You
in these
do
trying times. how could
Yeah.
you?
He's just trying to make a buck.
He's just trying to make a buck.
Does anyone answer the door?
Awful.
Someone better answer this door, I swear to God.
So you knock on these big ol' honking church doors.
Does it have a big knocker on the front?
Yeah, and you see that on the front there's sort of a sign that's been strung in between on a string. That says no Sunday service until further notice.
Wait, I open up my phone, is it Sunday?
Fuck, I think we had a timeline that I've totally forgotten now.
Lucky would know.
Yeah, Leku, what day is it?
Leku chimes in and says it's Monday.
Thanks, Leku.
No problem.
Oh, you're here.
Or well,
I
Leku,
thought
you
were
know it
moving.
was Monday. You can say whatever you want. You don't have to tell them.
Looks like service back on the menu. I double hand this knocker. I'm knocking the shit out of this door.
Yeah, it doesn't respond at first. It's just time just goes by, and as you knock a second time, you hear a couple little footsteps kind of come up to the door, and kind of peeking out, you see the face of a little boy, sort of dressed in like this long, flowing red robe with like a white little bit like a little overcloak. And he kind of peeks out in between the doors. And he says, I'm sorry, but all services currently postponed. Says Father Michaels.
Well, don't know if you know this yet, Noah, but us and the old Minister Michael, we've got a little appointment going on, so if you could just go get him. That'd be
Go make a
great.
deception check for me.
Lying to kids. Oh my god.
Yeah, we already tripped one. Lying's
Oh.
a justice to this
Oh,
one.
I didn't know. I'm sorry. Oh, wait right here. I'll bring him here.
Sweet.
Oh, and he kind of dips in.
I kind of lean into you, and I'm like, nice.
Look, I want to know what's weird with this town, and I'm gonna find out.
I mean, what does this remind me of? Question. Because I know we've been over this in Spellbound, but Avatar exists, right?
The Lost Airbender?
Yes. Michael.
Like
Let's
the show?
say for right now, yes.
Like the show,
Yeah.
or like just actually they were
No, the show. You know what this reminds
a
me
master of all the elements.
of? What this suddenly reminds me of? This reminds me of Ba Sing Se.
Oh, if it's like
And the
Boss Sing
dilate.
say, I'm gonna destroy some cabbages.
Well, obviously, that's necessary. This
No,
is
you can't.
I gotta.
Because Cabbage Vic will be
You see
there.
the doors open and kind of coming out underneath the sign, kind of ducking below. Kind of like as you guys kind of back up to let him through, kind of stepping out onto the stone, sort of next to the sidewalk, kind of next to you guys. You see kind of a mid-30s man with sort of long flowing brown hair, sort of this little priestly getup. Sort of make his way out with sort of the boy kind of sticking back by the doors, kind of eyeing you guys. He kind of steps out. He says, "Good afternoon. Noah tells me you have some appointment with me.
Mm-hmm.
He's just kind of half smiling through these kind of sad eyes as he kind of eyes the four of you.
So me and my friends, we're new in town, and we unfortunately met someone on our way here that was not so with us anymore. This is the place we go to bury people, right?
Oh, what the fuck? His face kind of gets a little grim. And he says, "I'm sorry to hear that. Yes, our gravedigger has fallen ill, but I've taken the liberty of digging a few in advance in his absence. Where are you keeping the body of the departed?"
Well, the police kind of took them to identify them.
He nods. He says, "We're not performing funerals at the moment. Just keep the body there. When our situation here clears up," kind of gestures to the sign. He nods at you. He says, "I'll be sure to lay them to rest."
What's the situation here? What's happening?
Are any of you practitioners?
Yep,
And he kind of looks around to the four of you.
I'm a healer. I know all about medicine.
I
I
can
mean-
heal this too.
Are you believers? And he kind of points at the church.
Literally holds up his holy symbol.
Is it a cross?
It is. It's
All right,
generic.
yeah. He nods at you. Then he says, "In these trying times, we must simply do our best and follow the mayor's example. For right now, for reasons I cannot disclose, for the better of everyone's positivity, all mass and service is currently cancelled, but once it is cleared up, hopefully within the next coming days, things will be right as rain again. But for the meantime, simply pray." And he kind of gestures to the four of you and he says,
I don't know.
"The departed will rest easy soon. So worry not. Just come back as soon as we resumed all of our services." And he kind of brings a hand up to his temple, kind of rubs it through these little tired eyes, and he says, "If there's nothing else, I'm glad you told me, but yes."
There's a lot else. With the kid that we found, there were other kids, and we kind of need a place to put them. We heard that there's an orphanage in town.
He kind of brings like a very sad, like blank smile to his face, and he kind of nods and he says, "Yes, our orphanage, St. Andrew's. It's off on the western end of town, a bit over that way." And he kind of points out on the street, kind of past the town square to the south, and he says, "Just follow the road there. Turn right onto Baker Street, and it'll be 3 houses down. You'll see it. There's a sign."
Alright, thank you.
Now this the situation. Is it something that's gonna clean itself up, or Do you need someone to clean it up? Because me and my friends here, we're excellent cleaners.
Make a disadvantage persuasion check for me.
Can I help?
I'll say with Gale granting assistance, go ahead and make a just flat persuasion check.
Sweet.
Ooh. Can I change that to at least an 8? So it's like a 14?
Do you have that for your divination?
Yeah, my last one's an 8.
All right.
Oh, that one.
With a 14, he kind of looks over the four of you, kind of lingering on Gale for a second, and he says, he says, St. Andrew's Church is a bit out of sorts currently. We've had a theft on church grounds. A first-class relic has been stolen, and I don't know by who.
Okay, so I feel like we can immediately roll up Vicky V because he's way too obvious. And he would totally declare loudly that he stole it. And everyone would know.
He says, I've avoided telling people about it for as long as I can, but our gravedigger has fallen ill. And things are just
Maybe
falling
help
off.
with. I can maybe help with the gravedigger at least.
His name is Miller. He goes by Millie. He also stays at the orphanage.
At the orphanage, alright.
Alright, I'll check him out while he's all the way there. Also, I know how this sounds, but out of character, I fully expect Gale to sometime during this campaign Wilhelm scream someone.
What?
I don't know, it just
How
came
do
to
you
mind.
Wilhelm scream someone?
You eat them off something high. Or hit them in the or
So
you
you're
hit
gonna
them randomly in the
someone
leg.
and they're
with
gonna
it.
jump
You
out
guys haven't
the
killed
way
enough
screaming.
randos for a Wilhelm scream.
One day.
Alright, well, at
One
least there's not a
day.
whole bunch of zombies in there.
No,
Other than the hospital.
the church is sacred ground. Or, all of you can make insight checks for me.
Fuck insight, divine sense.
I love insight. Well, insight doesn't give you answer. Doesn't
Yeah,
tell you
divine
he's
sense
lying.
tells me if this is solid or not, so among other things.
Leku,
Damn,
the keen
Leku.
observer.
Oh, insight.
There's kind of a disconnect between religion and magic in this setting. Ooh, Gale as well. From what you've seen and heard, though, there seems to be some truth about sacred ground. You're not sure exactly what it is, but you remember that Irina and Marcus wanted their dad buried in sacred ground by the church. And you guys had that little funeral up there way back towards the beginning of the campaign. But as he says sacred ground, he says it through sort of like a very sad expression, almost like that isn't the case as he says it. Not like he's lying, but like he sort of doesn't mean it as he says it. And he says, I hope you all can find your way to the orphanage. I hope that any children you've brought along find a happy home.
Also, question to double down. With divine sense, I would know if a place technically counts as sacred. Does this count?
Yeah,
for
but
that?
it's talking
That's
about
right.
the orphanage.
I'm-
No. As you cast divine sense, kind of looking around, you can see some lingering, sort of holiness around the area. But as you look, you see that this area is currently not consecrated ground, as a church should be. But you do not detect any celestials, fiends, or undead. But this place is not sacred ground.
Yeah. Gale just will give the priest a light pat and do a little prayer. Not to do anything special, but just because he understands that, yeah, this place probably got fucked over in several ways. Alright.
He smiles and says, may God bless you, each of you. Have a good day, and yes, thank you. And he kind of brings his lips up into a smile, and he kind of makes his way up the steps towards the door. As Gale kind of goes to stride off.
Let's go get sad because of orphans.
Because orphans.
Shall
Fuck
we go
Gale's
to
an
the
orphan.
orphanage?
Yeah.
If you said orphan around Yodel, he would probably ask you the fuck does orphan mean?
Also,
But he knows what
this is
monopoly means.
Well, he
Also-
doesn't exactly. He thinks it's owning a business. Just wait for him to go to, like,
So do
the
all four of you head to the
Maccas.
orphanage?
Yeah.
Yes, but on the way there, Gale, for no real reason, will walk up to a police officer and ask them if they know how much a wacky inflatable O2 man cost.
He shoots you 5 times in the leg.
Did I hear wacky wavy inflatable arm floating tube man?
Yes.
Wacky wavy inflatable arm floating tube man.
Wait, Gale, we're going down.
Um,
We're going south. Why are
As you
running up?
walk up to one of the policemen, what exactly do you say?
Hey, do you know how much each one of those costs? And he'll point towards the wacky wavy inflatable arm tube man.
He looks so confused. Down at you, kind of looks over at the wacky inflatable arm tube man. He says, "If you're interested in purchasing it, I'd advise speaking to the store owner."
Okay.
And
And
his
he
buddy
just
kinda
walks off.
Yeah, they just yeah.
You have to realize that Gale has ADHD like me, and I was wondering that thought, so I figured he'd ask in character.
So coming back to Keith.
Yes.
Where would you like to go to start growing more flowers?
Well, I'm trying to find somewhere that is, like, one of the best spots where you can sit in a bush and be really hard to see. Somewhere where a giant green fucking turtle would blend in naturally.
There are bits of this place that are very heavily forested. You kind of creep past the rest of the guys and kind of make your way sort of by the walls and these towers, sort of by where the mist is. And sort of reaching down to this like little forested bit, you kind of get on your hands and knees and you start trying to cast plant growth. You kind of set the door and your sword down, kind of crouch down by the flowers, kind of like some sort of weeds kind of treading out of the ground, these bright colors.
You're growing weed?
Close your eyes and start trying to cast plant growth. And as you feel the magic sort of start to move around your hands, what level spell is plant growth?
It's a 3rd level.
That's like a 3rd level? Oh.
I used all my spell slots, don't worry. Still fucked up. You would think 2 levels from Warlock, 2 spell slots from Warlock, and 3 spell slots from Druid would get you somewhere. I was wrong.
And you watch as your hands start to move over, you see the plant start to grow and sort of sprout all around. And you see sort of the grass starts to grow much taller. You see sort of flowers start to bloom out of like the sort of vines and grasses sort of sprouts and grows all around you. You see vegetation and food start springing up. And And as it's happening, you see flowers start to burst out of the ground, sort of all around you. And as you continue to channel this effect, all of a sudden, you can feel the power of the spell starting to drain you as you kind of run out of these slots. You start to feel weaker and weaker, and you see that at the tips of the plants, they start to sort of wither and start dying and losing life as you're sort of sprouting it into form. You sort of keep trying to keep your hands up. I would like you to roll me 10.
Oh.
Roll me 10d10 plus your nature bonus.
I knew this was going to have heavy drawback. I was like, I'll do it.
I don't think this is
either
damage,
side.
man. This is health. This is the flat. Why would damage plus your nature?
Don't know.
I'm just a cruel DM.
Yeah.
Fuck your nature bonus. It adds to your damage.
Unless you're turning into like a blight or something.
From now on, everyone's animal handling modifier gets added to the damage they take.
Shit. Oh man, that's a
Fuck you,
lot of damage for me.
Wait. So if I have
You
a
have expertise in
negative,
animal handling? Fuck you.
I get 5
what
points
if
every
you have a
time.
negative?
Minimum
Do you
1.
heal?
No, it subtracts it. Adds it to the
don't know.
damage you take.
I know, but what if it's negative?
59.
Okay, so yeah.
Then you take that less amount of damage.
Cool.
Keith, with this spell, you produce 59 flowers. Sprouting all around you. It's this beautiful little, sort of like, fairy-like little domain you've created in this little pocket of forest as these flowers start sprouting all along sort of the barks of trees and sprouting out of the ground. As the spell fades and you can feel it becoming too much for you and you're pushing your limits, you see, you start growing more flowers than that, but they start to wither and die all around you. And you see the green light you're producing start to kind of flicker and turn gray. And start to turn blue as these hues are kind of cast around you. And you see your arms start to get a little blurry as the light kind of overtakes around you. And you're going to take 13 points of force damage. As you feel your arms kind of seize up, and the magic kind of reverberates in your system, and you feel along your arm there's a little and you see flowers start to sprout in between your skin and start bursting out of your scales. Sort of blood kind of trickles down from the break in the skin, but all along your arms now are basically just like sort of like where arm hair grows on a human. There's now just flower sleeves coated up and down your arms as they break and blood kind of bursts and splats onto the grass as the flowers all come forth.
That's metal.
That is metal. The most metal fucking florist ever. Seeing that. He's gonna say 59 is a good enough haul for today. Look at his sword and whisper to it, like to the little wooden spider part to it. G'day, buddy. You awake, little buddy? Or you just wood still? As he's probably like, from that...
To the wooden spider?
Yeah, to the wooden spider.
You see, as you speak to it, where the spider's head is, these two little pinpoints of green light kind of flash. And this entirely wooden, like, bark-covered spider sort of starts moving along the hilt of your sword. And he starts crawling down the length of your arms, kind of starting to weave behind this wooden, like, web, this string. And he starts kind of knitting together the cracks that have broken through on your arms, kind of starting to heal you a bit. What's your wisdom modifier?
Plus...
+4?
Yeah, 4.
You heal back 11 points of health.
Ooh.
As this wood sort of acts as like almost like incredibly thin, like stitches almost, as it kind of like weaves together the skin. You see this soft green light coming from the spider as it does so. And then as it kind of nears the end of your arms, kind of at your hands, the spider just bursts apart into splinters, and you see those green lights as like this little flicker of light where the wood used to be kind of float up in the air and just evaporate. And the spider is gone.
Let's go and look at the sun and be like, well then, old friend. Aren't you dramatic on your exits? Kind of just like eyeing it off, like he's seen it turn spiders into wood twice now and have them burst. It's gonna be like, try help himself up to the best of his ability. Pick up his sword. Try hide his sword with the door, like holding it on a weird angle, and we'll go back to the inn. Actually, no, if he runs into the others, he'll follow the others before going back to the inn.
I was going to say, as you kind of walk out, you see that by sort of like the church's steps out by the graveyard where you kind of come through the forested area, you see Julian, Dante, Gale, and Leku kind of making their way down the street, and they'll kind of turn around. You turn around, you see Yertle Keith carrying the door over his shoulder, and you see he's just on the door like a tray. He's carrying with him this huge, bountiful amount of flowers, just all stacked up. And he kind of makes his way over to you, and you see that sprouting all over his arms are like sort of like a rainbow array of flowers, sort of just covering the lengths of his forearms.
How are you guys?
So what the fuck happened?
Puberty. That works, right?
Can I insight that?
Yertle, make a deception check. Julian, make an insight.
I mean, he asked them if that works. Like, you can tell he doesn't want to fucking tell you.
Yeah, no roll required. You can tell that he's keeping it a secret.
You can tell he's obviously lying, because he did say that worked, right? Like, if that answer wouldn't be believable. Obviously something went awry.
So what's with the tray of flowers?
Dad, today's whole, my project, I'm gonna get a coffin. Big fancy box.
Why?
That's, I don't know. It looked amazing. So I want to buy it. So me and Henry made a deal.
Can I insight
He
that?
thinks my name's Keith.
Can I insight that he just wants a coffin because it looks cool?
That is the truth.
Yeah, nothing to insight there.
Like, you could roll, even a nat 1, you'd be able to tell. It's the truth.
Real quick, cutting back to Alazia. Alazia, why don't you make a con save for me? Alazia, as you're being driven back, you're kind of just sitting there crying as Marcus kind of puts the pedal to the metal, kind of just driving forward as fast as he can in this van. And as you're sitting there crying, the pain in your leg is really starting to get to you as you're kind of just bleeding out onto the seats of this van. Normally you're able to shrug off pain a lot more easily, but the silver bullets you unloaded into your leg are starting to catch up with you. Ooh. And you can feel yourself starting to pass out as you're bleeding and bleeding all over the seats of this car.
Can she switch to the taser hand and shock herself?
Yeah, go ahead and roll me damage for the taser hand.
You're just gonna knock yourself out. You can tease yourself out.
As you kind of hold it up to wake yourself, you kind of shock yourself, and like your hair kind of goes on end as your eyes kind of go wide, and you kind of start kind of leaning forward. And Marcus kind of turns back and says, "What the hell are you doing? Just stay with me, all right? I don't have time to close the wound. We'll have to just hope we can get to a hospital." And Elysia, as you
Line's not too big at the hospital.
as you're being driven forward, I want you to make another Constitution saving throw for me. As you shock yourself, you kind of come wide, but as the pain kind of spreads over and kind of circles through your body, it kind of like just really, really spikes in your leg. As it starts to go like more and more numb each second, and your eyes kind of start to grow heavy as Marcus is kind of driving you along. And you don't remember passing out, but just 1 second you're looking out the windshield as you see the gates come into view, and the next all you see is the glove compartment, and then you can't see anything else.
Can she try and say like something?
Or
Absolutely,
shit.
yeah. If you want to say something.
She's gonna just say like just Julian suddenly, and then hit the fucking desk, the dashboard.
Marcus, like, you don't see him look over at you with confusion, but he does as you just hit it and you're down.
Fuck.